Hello. I've been reading this book, Nutricai, by Llaila Afrika. And I was reading this, and I just want to share a little bit with you all. And it says right here on page 52, family, the first technology of Africa. Boy, don't that sound smart? The first technology, science of Africa is the family. In traditional European terms, technology means a scientific way to achieve a practical purpose. However, technology to create a family, a community, and a civilization. The family holistically, body, mind, and spirit was used as the basis for all the growth and development of ancient African science and technology. The family was nourished on a diet of natural foods, free of addictive dyes, synthetics, artificial ingredients, and preservations. Preservatives. Herbal medicine has no synthetic medicines. It was a life defined without European influences or nutricide. Now, that's what I'm saying. The family is so important. It is the fiber that keeps us together, that makes communities thrive. Now, you have some communities, everybody is working, achieving goals, being healthy, looking out for one another, keeping their area clean, making sure that these outside forces are not bringing in garbage, bringing down their neighborhood, erecting uh, places like bars and fast food restaurants and corner stores that do nothing but bring a person down. In chattel slavery, slaves were forced to breed like animal livestock. Any attempt of slaves to have African cultural type marriages and have children by God's will was met by the European slave masters' chemical weapons, alcohol, drugs, biological warfare, diseases such as syphilis, or physical brutality. A child of an African plantation slave, the man's testicles were cut off and the child cooked and given to the dogs. Today, the child is allowed to be born and then attacked by chemical warfare, like with synthetic foods, drugs, miseducation, jail, recreational sex, abortions, homosexuality, selfishness, and taught to be religious, not spiritual. One of the primary European weapons is the psychology of sexism. Sexism teaches the African man to love and have sex with the African woman as if she was a white woman, slave and master. The African woman is taught to have sex and related to the African man as if he were a white man, slave and master. Holistic self Holistic sex starts with a spiritual sharing in communion with mother, father, God, and ends with both partners sharing in communion with God. Isn't that so true? We're not taught to uh, find a man, find a woman, and let your spirits bind first. We're not taught rituals. We're not even taught how to communicate. And it's sad, especially when you hear about so many deaths due to failing marriages. And first of all, this marriage to me is just a sham. You have to spend all that money to go get married. Then you have to spend all that money to go to divorce when you could just have a mutual agreement and go through a more spiritual togetherness. When you let your spirits bind. If your spirits don't bind, you won't get married. And not to say that all African marriages are perfect. No, they're not. No things is going to be without a few disruptive miscommunications. But you have a way of working it out because you're both on the same page. Now, the Allistic sex is for procreation or regeneration, not as the European believes for recreation. A slave's sex starts with lust and ends with a real or imagined physical climax instead of a spiritual climax. See, it's a difference. When you are having sex, making love to somebody, you are doing it because you want to bring about a child that's going to give you a, a life that will continue on. You are bringing about another being that you are going to be responsible of helping to mature to be a responsible, mature adult that's going to look after you and the community and the earth. But since we was interrupted with the European, that has practically almost gone away. Men and women out here having sex just to be having sex, just to be having fun. Or they're being raped because men do not know how to be men. And it's a shame. It's really just a pitiful shame, you know. And what I've noticed, that's why I got off of Facebook, because it's just another extended arm of the European dominating our lives, making us be like them. Now, our real purpose is of African couples, marriage, offspring, procreation is to strengthen and uplift the culture and family structure. In contrast, European sexism teaches Africans to marry, love, and family is a secondary concern. The psychology, the physiology, sexist weapon divides the African from the technology of the family. The African family structure technology was built around the mother father God's concept. In this structure, each child views all adult family members as mother, father, sister, or brother. For example, the child's father's brother would be called father uncle. The child's father's sister would be called father aunt. The child's mother's brother would be called mother uncle. And the mother's sister would be called mother aunt. There are male mothers and female fathers in the African family. You see the closeness. And I knew when I was growing up that I knew something was not right. Because it was just ingrained in me. It was just born in me to be family oriented. And of course, I have never had family togetherness. Oh, I grew up in a house that everybody was separate. Nobody really was there for one another. And that's the way it is to this day. And times 2 billion. Because I know I have I'm not the only one with a family like that. You hear too many times, just not too long ago, where this teenager killed his mother and sister and her child. I mean, it is so bad that your family members may kill you. We have the family killing each other. We have the husband and wives killing each other. And it's all because it all boils down to the disruptive technology of the African, which is the family. You don't hear about that in African. I mean, I'm sure you have different tribes and stuff that different things. We don't know everything. We can't really say for sure. But I've never heard of an African killing a family member over an argument over a piece of toast. I remember this was back in the 80s. I remember reading about this was at Christmas time that a family got mad and killed the other family member because they didn't like the gift they got. And then I read about this one family member. They was arguing, and one said, "Well, stab me." You don't tell nobody to stab you. And they stabbed him. And I can't remember if it was a man or a woman, but come on. I mean, I know family because I done fought with practically all my family members. I mean, physically fight. Except one. It was one sister that I really never got into it with. She was the sweetest. And of course, she's the one that passed away early. Um, and what they got to do with Nutricai? A lot. Because, like I was reading, uh, where was that? Where was that? Um, food, it heals. An undernourished brain causes learning problems, depression, violence, and fatigue. And of course, we don't see that. Look at most of these neighborhoods that's mostly occupied by Black people. They have a large population of fast food restaurants, corner stores, Family Dollars, Dollar Generals, everything a dollar stores. It is so easy to go run to a fast food restaurant and get something to eat than it is to cook a wholesome, healthy meal. It is. I have to fight it. And to go to a grocery store, you may have to go a ways than if you was to just run to that corner store or go to that McDonald's. Wham, you're hungry and you have to go so far to get to a grocery store. And that's what keeps us depressed, violent, mood swings, learning problems. And most of these young ones, they don't even want to learn about nutrition. They don't want to learn about how to spend your money wisely, spend your time wisely. They spend most of the time on games, on TV, on their phone, Facebook. Facebook is making a lot of people rich, and they're destroying a lot more people's lives. But people don't see it because they think it's okay. They're not, nobody's really coming into their house harming them. But it's so subtle, you don't see it. It's really directing your thinking patterns, which gives you your actions. We don't know how many people how many lives and families have been destroyed because of Facebook. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You think they ain't quitting? They lock them phones and will have a fit if you try to get in their phone. And then they're getting mad because you're liking another woman or another man's picture. Why are you liking her pictures all the time? We are arguing over some stupid stuff. It's just a picture. But see, it just shows you the guilt because evidently you are liking some pictures that you shouldn't be. And then the lying. Oh, you call them on the phone. They somewhere they don't supposed to be. I didn't hear my phone ring. My phone died. Or I'm out of town. Could be right around the corner at some chick's house or some dude's house. Or laying up in some motel room. But see, the technology that Africans had was the family. The family. The family took care of one another. Well, that's all I want to share. I don't see any people looking or whatever, but hopefully I will get some feedback. And if you like what you hear, or you want to add to it, or you want to have a conversation, please leave a comment, email me, go to my website. I will leave all the information, and subscribe. And let's keep helping each other and get off that plantation. Thank you.